Okay, this is Sean Partridge coming to you live, and we're taking a look at Apple Computer right now on a 2-minute time frame. See, Apple Computer is in a downtrend here. It's just formed. I'm going to go ahead and take a short position right here at 98.18. And Apple Computer, you can see, has started to form a downtrend. Since 10:04 down, it's forming lower lows and lower highs as it rallies and declines. It's been relative weakness against the NASDAQ market. You can see the NASDAQ market has been in an uptrend on its 2-minute time frame for some time now. And the NASDAQ market is getting a little top heavy up here. We get a little breakout failure here and another potent reversal with a nice strong topping tail bar at 10:38. So with the NASDAQ market being a little bit top heavy here, it's supporting the downtrend on Apple Computer. I'm going to look for Apple Computer down into about 935 or so, down into this area here. So let's just sit back and watch how this trade plays out. And I have a stop loss that's just above the high of the 1038 bar at 98.74. And you can see the selling coming in, a little bit of selling coming in on the NASDAQ. It's putting downward pressure on Apple. Now, I'm not looking for the NASDAQ to fall completely apart because it is in an uptrend, but the NASDAQ market could pull back down into this area here quite easily, and that's going to support Apple Computer coming down into its next area of support. Now you can notice how the range of this bar, the current bar from high to low, is beginning to expand in comparison to the prior couple of bars. It's showing us now that there is finally an increase in selling that's happening on this bar. Traders are now believing that this is going to decline. So we're starting to get some momentum coming in. And we just drove it below the prior pivot low. So now any of the traders who had created this prior low and all these green bars and driving prices higher, especially this big powerful bar at 936, these traders were all trapped in their long positions. So those traders are now the fuel to drive this down into our target area of about 935 or so. There we go. It's coming down nicely. Excellent. Selling pressure picking up. You can see the NASDAQ market now pulling into this area of support. So into this area here is where I'm ready to take some profits here. So we can get it right down into 35. But anytime here I'm ready. Just because the NASDAQ market being into support, it's likely to see this stabilize and begin to push back up slightly. So now we're forming a bottoming tail here. See that selling pressure come back in quickly. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss just above the high of that current bar where it's forming that bottoming tail. So call it 83. It'll give us about 40 cents in profit. The reason why we move our stop loss just above the high of that bar is because the NASDAQ being into support and bottoming tails are trapping candlestick formations. Think about what was happening at the low of this bar. When this bar was red, trading all the way down at the low, it was doing that because there was increased sellers on that bar. Those sellers have expectations to make a profit from lower prices. So where that bar had just closed a topping tail, all of the traders that were shorting within this bar are experiencing pain because their position is negative. So if prices can get above the high of that bar, I'd expect to see those traders begin covering their short position, which would fuel it back up again, maybe up into 98 or 98.05 or so, which is giving back too much of our profit in comparison to our, what the distance remaining is to our target area of 935. There we go. Get down below the low of that bottoming tail, and that's excellent. Now that restores the bearishness because it shows us that every trader who shorted in that prior bar, although they may have gotten nervous when that bar closed, they're feeling confident again. Everybody is now holding a winning position, or at least neutral on their position, so they're not feeling any pain. The Nasdaq took out the low of that previous bottoming tail. That's very nice, but it is still into this area of support, so we want to see this take out the low of that bottoming tail, and let's get some momentum increase to really drive us down into 35 or lower, and let's see if maybe we can get the Nasdaq to really sell off a bit here down into about 12.18 or so. And there we go. There's the Apple computer taking out the low of the previous bar. So let's see some momentum increase here. Now, it took out the low and the momentum is not increasing, so that's one sign of caution that says that there are some buyers coming in at this level. And just being so close to the target of 935, I want to play defense from here. I don't want to exit too early so that I can capture all that profit, but at the same time, I'm only looking for another 20 cents. I don't want to give back 30 or 40 cents to gain 20 more cents. And that's stabilizing here. I'm going to take it here at 65. So that gives a profit of 55 cents over the course of 8 minutes or so. So that'll do it for this trade here. This was Sean Partridge from Infinity Trader coming to you live with Apple Computer on the 10th of December.